Do you need some inspiring quotes to help you better budget your money? Hello, I'm Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com, and tonight is Leadership Wednesday. And as you know, on Leadership Wednesday, we're all about vision, truck driver jobs, and career options. So if you need to have a better vision about setting up your budget and helping you to save money, I hope that the following quotes will help you. All of these I got off of brainyquote.com today. And I'm not going to be naming the author, but you can obviously look them up when you go on to brainyquote.com. All right, first one, the author said, a budget tells us what we can afford, but it doesn't keep us from buying it. And that's the same kind of logic that goes into, well, I must have money left because I still have checks in the checkbook. Okay, so a budget tells us what we can't afford, but it doesn't keep us from buying it. Okay. The second quote, the best way to look stylish on a budget is to try secondhand bargain hunting and vintage. Okay, the best way to look stylish on a budget is to try secondhand bargain hunting and vintage. So if it is the case, for example, that you would really like to get a brand new truck, but the one that you're driving that's a little bit older is working for you and it's in perfectly good maintenance situation, then by all means you might want to consider hanging on to an older truck just until it comes to the place where it is more expensive to operate it, then you could get something else a little bit newer. Always you want to do that cost-benefit analysis to make sure that the new truck is actually going to be saving you some money, even though you're going to be paying for it. Okay, unless you can pay it outright, and that'd be great. All right, next quote, the cold, harsh reality is that we have to balance the budget. Okay, if you're not living by a balanced budget either personally or in your trucking business, obviously you're going to go into debt. Okay, and you don't want to go into debt. Okay, now some people say, well, you have to have a little bit of debt in your business or whatever. The thing about it is yeah, but the thing about it, you want to be having that income coming in that's going to be offsetting that debt. Okay, and also remember that as a driver, you are trading your time for money. If something happens to you physically that renders you unable to drive your truck, okay, that money's not going to be coming in. So unless you decide you're going to go into a type of business where you're leveraging your time for money, okay, you need to be aware that you need to set some money aside. So we have to balance the budget. In fact, I'm going to encourage you not just to balance the budget, but to put money aside. Save it. Obviously, we're TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. All right, and then the last quote that I'm going to share for tonight is, we're on the verge of a financial collapse. We're on the verge of a financial collapse unless we balance the budget, and that means some really, really tough decisions. Okay, and the thing about it is you know best what your tough decisions are. Okay. For example, I'd really like to buy a fill-in-the-blank, whatever the fill-in-the-blank is, okay? Let's say it's a really expensive GPS system, something that's like $600 or $700. Okay, well, are you going to get enough value out of that $600 or $700 piece of equipment to make that money back so that you can continue doing your job and doing very well? Okay, is there a reason why you can't do something else that's less expensive, like routing yourself according to an atlas or whatever the other thing is? Okay, so consider your options. Are you going to have to make really, really tough decisions? All right, some truckers, unfortunately, they've gotten themselves into a financial bind where basically they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're so stressed out and strapped for cash that they're willing to do anything. And I talked about on recently, I think it was on Monday night, about how there's nothing that gets me fired up, riled up more than having a trucker be exploited. Well, sometimes truckers get themselves into a place where they're being exploited, and they may not even know it. Okay, so when you have that breathing room in your budget, when you have that ability to be able to be maybe a little bit choosier about things and do things that are better for you than the convenient thing, that would be better. Okay, that might be a tough decision that you have to make. Okay, so those are 4 inspiring quotes for you to consider. A budget tells us what we can't afford, but it doesn't keep us from buying it. The best way to look stylish on a budget is to try secondhand bargain hunting and vintage. The cold, harsh reality is that we have to balance the budget, and we're on the verge of a financial collapse unless we balance the budget, and that means some really, really tough decisions. Okay, so consider that for what it's worth for you personally. Like I said, I got all these quotes off of brainyquote.com. Of course, there's lots of other quotes up there about leadership and money and budgeting, and some of these you may find to be even more inspiring than the ones that I picked. But get what's right for you, okay? If you have some sort of a budgetary or a money-saving question or a story that you'd like to share about how you did something really, really well, please share it with us. Let us know about that, and we'll be glad to be able to rejoice with you in your success. If you're having a little bit of a difficulty, we may be able to give you some feedback on that as well. Let me share one little quick vignette with you, and then I'll let you go for the night. And that was when my husband was driving for a large southeastern trucking company. There was a new driver who came in, and he said, I have to have a minimum of 3,000 miles a week in order to be able to earn enough money to pay all of my bills. And that was like, you know, a major red flag to Mike because, okay, he said, look, you're not going to come in here and get all the gravy loads, okay, as a new driver. Okay, you're going to have to pay your dues like the rest of us have. And the fact of the matter is, and this was before the most recent hours of service change or the changing again, but anyway, he said, look, if you are getting 3,000 miles a week consistently week in and week out, the safety director is going to want to know how you're doing that safely and legally. So it's one of those situations where this guy was under so much financial stress and strain, okay, that he couldn't even think right. And Mike was asking him and says, look, what is it that you need to spend this money on? And one of them was a brand new pickup truck. Well, the fact of the matter is, if the guy was going to be spending any amount of time on the road in the commercial motor vehicle supplied by that company, okay, he probably wasn't going to have much time left to be spending behind the wheel of that brand new pickup truck. So that was probably one of the expenses he could probably let go. But that was a personal choice, so you're going to have to decide what is right for you. All right, this is Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com, and Mike and I wish you great safety on the road. We wish you safe travels and lots of money-saving tips. All right, as you're on your journey. Okay, let us know how we can help you. Have a great night. Thanks.